What's going on, guys? We're going to cover today's markets with the NQ. So today we were down over 600 points at one period of time, down 3% on the day on the Nasdaq. We had earnings from Tesla. Tesla absolutely got obliterated. We had earnings from Google. We have a slew and plethora of other earnings from tech coming up now. We've seen an early rotation this morning with a lot of money flow into the Dow, into oil stocks, which I believe oil, crude oil, and anything related to oil, I think is going to be a long-term play here for over the next, let's call it 1 to 3 months. I think it's going to be very, very good. But this video is going to be about the NQ. So let's talk about the destruction today and kind of why it happened and maybe where you missed an opportunity to kind of make money or where you did make some money at. So if you kind of notice on the chart here, this selling originally started once we touched highs on July the 11th. We put in highs at 20,983, followed by a little bit of a 3-day dead cat bounce, and then we had that confirmation of that Thursday. Now, I remember this Thursday because this Thursday was very, very significant. It seemed like the market did not have an uptick. Now, when we got here to July the 17th, it was almost the same story. Not only did we confirm this channel here, a prior 3-day channel. Now, a channel means, what we're looking at is the previous high and low here from, either the previous day, maybe it's the previous few days, maybe it's the previous week, month, whatever. This 3-day channel was busted through, and this is the first day we closed below the 20-day moving average in quite some time. Now, when you really look at it, okay, this was a big deal because the Nasdaq has been trading over the 20-day moving average. So you can start to see that momentum was starting to shift to the downside. And when momentum starts to shift to the downside, there's one of two things that's going to happen, okay? When you're on a big uptrend and the momentum starts to shift, you're going to get more choppy days and you're going to get more bounces that get rejected and then continue to drift lower. And that's exactly what happened. We confirmed the big sell-off here on the 17th. The next day came all the way down to this linear regression, and we had about a 3-day distribution period. So a 3-day distribution period is where you form a mini channel, you start to form support, but you never really take out a previous day high, you never really start closing below a previous day low, and you kind of just have a little bit of a battle here. Today was the day that not only did we break down through this 4-day distribution, but we closed below the 50-day moving average. Very, very significant for the bulls and the buyers. Anytime you're below the 50-day moving average, the rule is everything goes risk off. Okay, so if you're a long-term investor, if you're a swing trader, the risk comes off the table. We either hold our positions, we don't start averaging down right away. We need to see something of significance. We don't start buying the dip, expecting this to go up, because sometimes when you lose the 50-day moving average, you can spend some significant time down there. So what I want to do for the futures and for my day trading is I'm probably going to be a little bit more sell biased. Doesn't mean that I won't take those long setups on a smaller time frame, like a 2-minute or a 5-minute, but I'm going to be very, very quick to get out. I'm thinking between 3 and 6 point take profits. Now, I already had a small take profit, but I think between 3 and 6 points. And the only reason is because I just want to keep my head above water long enough to see what this does. Being that we've lost this level, it's going to be very, very hard to kind of see, how long is it going to take before we start making a potential push up, before we build a floor, before we test lower prices. Now, I still think we can test a little bit lower prices. I'd be looking at something close to 19,114 and ultimately something down here in the 18s. Okay, so 18,876 would be a good landing spot, but we can see a short-term dead cat bounce to kind of end the week, right? Because this day was so drastic, the market could bounce 100, 150, even 200 points tomorrow, and it still be on a downtrend. That's what I want you guys to focus on. If we finish green tomorrow, okay, it doesn't mean that the selling pressure is over. Today's lows need to be marked out on your chart. The longer we spend underneath the 50-day moving average, the bias remains to the downside. Just keep that in mind. So if we do have a little bit of a bounce tomorrow or Friday, I'm not saying to stay away from taking those long scalps, but what I want you to do is as soon as you get in, as soon as that P&L starts to go green, protect your ass, get out of the trade, lock it in, and wait for the rejections back down to the downside. Now, if tomorrow kind of just floats up and up and up and up and up, and you only kind of catch maybe one setup or two setups, keep an eye on the 30-minute opening range, keep an eye on the initial balance. But if you're only able to catch one or two of those setups and then you kind of miss everything because the market doesn't really come down, but obviously we don't take out today's highs, which is around 600 points higher, the pressure still remains to the downside. That's the most important thing that I want you guys to remember. It's going to take the bulls and the buyers a lot of work before they get out of this, out of this shithole that they're in. So with that being said, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys would like to trade with myself and the team, that link is down in the description box below. Also, if you guys are looking to try out a new prop firm, or maybe you guys are looking to add more accounts, today I was able to pass 3 Apex evaluation accounts on this significant down selling day, basically just loading up 5 mini contracts, letting those things ride and letting them hit that $3,000 profit target. With that being said, those days don't come easy and those days don't come often. Okay, so again, take advantage of that. Those links are down in the description box for Apex as well as Top Step. I'll see all of you guys on the inside.